President's son has now lost as many as 3 laptops over the past 3 years. Joining us now to talk about the national security implications of this, Congressman Jody Hice of Georgia. Congressman, good to see you again.
Great to see you all. Thanks for having me.
You know, for 4 years, all we heard about was Trump's ties to Russia and his kids doing this and that. But this is another incident showing Hunter's utter recklessness on video with audio. Here, he's admitting that the Russians stole his laptop and that they may be blackmailing him to get to his father or what have you. How damaging is this for President Biden on national security? And secondly, at what point does it become serious enough that the left and the media actually discuss some of these scandals?
It's already at the point to be serious enough. Look, this is extremely important. What is more important for our federal government than to watch after our national security? And yet here we have a very strong likelihood of major, massive compromises of our national security between not only Hunter, but potentially the entire Biden family. We now have 3 laptops, as you mentioned, all of which have very sensitive national security type information on them that Hunter has lost. Are there other computers out there? Is there other information? Where is the laptop, by the way? One was lost in a Delaware computer shop, the other seized by the FBI. Now this one with the Russians. Where are these laptops? What has been compromised? What is the relationship between the Biden family and China, Russia, Ukraine? Who knows what else? Where are the areas of potential national security compromise? Now is the time for the national media to be paying attention to this and asking real serious questions. We need an investigation. We need answers to these things.
Absolutely. Well, Congressman, another national security threat is the crisis on our southern border. You're joining others who are calling for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to be impeached or removed from his position because of his handling of our border crisis. But would removing him get you the results that you actually want? Because at the end of the day, isn't he just carrying out the policies of this administration?
He is. He's carrying out, and it's the entire administration. I've also been part of a resolution to censure President Biden because of this, and censorship of just one step lower than impeachment itself, which that also needs to be on the table. We have an administration that has let down the American people, has dropped the ball on our national security at the southern border, and is doing absolutely nothing. Last week alone, McAllen, Texas, had over 1,500 immigrants, COVID positive, who were released into their cities. We are having gangsters, terrorists, sex criminals, criminals of all kinds, drug infiltration. It is an absolute disaster. I had a meeting last night with Sheriff Mark Lamb from Arizona, from Pinal County, and the things that continue happening at our southern border are inexcusable. And it is time. Yeah, we're going after Mayorkas, but it doesn't stop there. We have a border czar who's doing absolutely nothing. We have a president who's doing absolutely nothing. This is our country, and it's time that it be protected. And this administration is doing nothing to make sure that that takes place.
Congressman, the infrastructure bill is getting a lot of attention in the news. Speaker Pelosi says she's not going to take up the bipartisan infrastructure bill that the Senate just passed until they get the additional $3.5 trillion bill, and they can put them all together. Where do Republicans in the House stand on this, and how do you guys try to oppose it being in the minority?
Yeah, we'll do everything we possibly can, Sean. We'll throw sand in the gear at every opportunity. We will use whatever we have available in terms of parliamentary procedures, calling on votes, going to the media, having press conferences. Look, this is nothing other than a bankrupt America bill filled with radical left-wing Democratic agenda items. It has very little to do with authentic infrastructure. And this is something Democrats ought to be ashamed of, but it's also something the American people need to be made aware of. This is 2,700 pages of nonsense. We had 19 of our Republican senators vote for it. I would dare say not a single one of them read the bill. This is yet another Pelosi scheme of pass it to find out what's in it. This is horrible for our economy. It's going to continue feeding the fire of inflation in this country, harming American citizens and families. And I would hope that all my colleagues in the House, at least the Republican side, will vote against this monstrous disaster and put the pressure on the Democrats to pass it and push that on the American people.
I hope not only that, but as you get tidbits that you actually expose what's in it, because I think that's going to be the biggest disinfectant to this bill. Congressman Jody Hice, thank you once again for joining us.
My pleasure.